Hi guys, Dr. Holly here. I am the medical director at the University of Colorado Anschutz Health and Wellness Center and medical director for season 5 of ABC's Extreme Weight Loss. And I hope everybody got to see the amazing episode last night with Mitzi, one of my favorite episodes. And I think one of the more powerful episodes that we've seen this year. Really a thought-provoking episode, and I think one that people are going to talk about for the weeks and the months ahead. To me, this episode, more than any other episode that we've seen this season, speaks to us about the power of vulnerability. You know, I think more than any other person, Mitzi really got vulnerable in this episode. She really had to tear down those walls that she built up. And let's face it, that all of us tend to build up to prevent ourselves from getting hurt. You know, a lot of times we go through some trauma, we go through some pain, and what we do as a defense mechanism is to really build a wall up, to decide that we're going to protect ourselves so that we don't have to feel that pain again. And that's exactly what Mitzi did. She built some walls up so that she wouldn't have to go through the pain that she had experienced about 8 years ago with the loss of her mother and the loss of a relationship. She did that by gaining a lot of weight, which was a kind of a physical barrier. And she also did that by collecting things and having a barrier in her house where people literally couldn't really connect to her. And she did this because, in a way, she felt like this would protect herself from the pain. But what I think we got to see firsthand in this episode, and what I loved about it so much, is that you see that when you do that, when you build those walls, and when you don't let people in, you also are protecting yourself from the good stuff. You're protecting yourself from love and joy and happiness, and really living a fulfilled life. You know, Mitzi's favorite word is super fantastic, and she says that about everything. But I think at the beginning of her transformation, she knew she really wasn't living a super fantastic life. She had built this wall, and while it may have kept her from getting hurt, it also kept her from living. She was existing, but she wasn't living. And so a lot of times it is required in a transformation that you get vulnerable, that you take those walls down, that you take a chance that you might get hurt. Because when you take that chance, when you get in the arena, you take off that armor and you start doing things, you ask people for help and you let people in, you really get to experience the good side of life. You get to experience joy and happiness and the connection with people and the things that I really think we're all trying to get in our life. So I will challenge every single one of you to think about in your own life, are there anything that you've kind of put out there, a wall, a barrier, anything that you've used to try to protect yourself that perhaps is getting in your way of a transformation, getting in the way of you living the life you want to live, getting in the way of you really doing more than just existing, really living a fulfilled life, experiencing all the things you want to experience. And if there is, I would really encourage you to get vulnerable. On the Dr. Holly page, we have a Go Public, Get Vulnerable wall. We talk about putting things out there, not allowing walls to develop, putting things out there and allowing that to be part of your transformation. So I'm going to ask the State of Slimmers, the Destination Boot Campers, to get vulnerable this week. Show everyone how it's done, how when you go out there and you put yourself out there, you take that armor off, how life can become so much better, how that's part of really transforming your life for the best. So I hope everybody has a super fantastic day, and I will see you next week. Go to the Dr. Holly page. Tell me how you're going to be vulnerable and how you're going to have an amazing transformation. Thanks.